Hi guys, welcome to day 4 of the Now Your Epic Life training. I cannot believe we're on day 4 already. If you are coming live with me, please come and say hi in the comments. Let me know how you're doing, if you're excited for today. And if you're watching on replay, also please come and join in with the comments. Like, I love to see them. Like, I do see a lot of the notifications when they're flashing up of people commenting and let me know how they're feeling, how they're doing. It's been an incredible week. I want to just make sure that we are working and that we are live. I think we are, because Leanne just said hi. Let me just check though, because I like to make sure that I'm not can't be heard or anything. I think we're live. There's some people joining us, which is amazing. There we go. I've got it here. Okay, fab. Really annoyingly, you can see my bra. Shouldn't have worn a white bra under this dress. But never mind. The show must go on. It's always better to call it out, right? And then no one can take the mickey out of you. Maybe just sit like this for the whole time with my notes. How is everyone doing? Please come and let me know if you've been enjoying the challenge so far. Honestly, you lot are blowing me away this week, because it has been my favourite challenge. You lot are my favourite group so far. And I don't say that ever. But you have shown up with so much positivity, such an amazing can-do attitude. Everyone's been doing the homework, they've been putting their all into it, sharing the results that they're getting. I've already seen tons of comments and messages and emails from people that are oh my god, I got more clients, which absolutely blows me away and makes me so happy. I was speaking to Becky last night on the interview that we did, and she made me well up then as well, because she was from working with me, from having the strength inside herself to not let that devil on her shoulder run her mind anymore, and to just go for it. And when she was telling me that she was able to, the year or so ago, she wasn't able to buy her son much birthday present, and this year she was able to buy him a Spider-Man bike. Honestly, that just blew me away. And this is what I'm talking about. It's amazing to have 5k months. That is incredible, and I'd love all of you to get there. But I know there are a lot of you out there that are watching that are nowhere near that yet. Probably most of you. When we start our nail businesses, we're, most of us, earning a few £100 a month. We feel good if we got £1,000. I know I used to feel like that. And yet we can really make massive changes to our lives in not much time, really. In under a year, really, you can go from wherever you are right now to having your first 5k month. Just like Becky was telling us last night, yeah, she's not at 5k months yet. She's been on income support. She's growing her business. But wherever we're starting from, it doesn't matter. We don't have to think, oh, well, it's going to take me so long to get there, so I'm not even going to bother starting, or I'm so scared that I'm not even going to bother going for it. Just start taking some more action, we've been talking about this week, and I promise you it will all start raveling in front of yourself. And you don't need to think 100 steps ahead all the time. It's think about just the next thing that you need to do. Live in the present more. Stop worrying about so much about the future and what might or might not happen, because you can't control that. But what you can control is the effort that you put in today and what you're listening to. Are you listening to that devil on your shoulder, or are you listening to your real brain, the one that knows that you are capable of more and that you are able to go out and do and achieve whatever it is that you want? I still know, because I've seen your messages, that I just want to make sure I've got my notes in a minute. 1 second. That there are I was just getting them all in together before we started. But there are a lot of you that are still feeling pretty scared, right? I get it. This is a big turnaround, right? This challenge, I told you it was going to be challenging. It was going to get you stepping out of your comfort zone and feeling a bit oh my God. And I know it is for a lot of you. And really have a think, if you've started telling yourself yeah, I'm not listening to this person anymore, then that is absolutely amazing. watch out for what your actions are doing, because sometimes we can say to ourselves, oh yeah, everything's fine, I'm just going to not listen to this person. And I know it is harder in the beginning to be like that, but watch what your actions are doing. So are your actions aligned with what you're now telling yourself is true? Or are you still like subconsciously, or subconsciously, is that the word? Subconsciously, yeah, subconsciously, not unsubconsciously, that's like a double negative. Subconsciously, listening to those negative thoughts still. So for example, like maybe you've been thinking about starting up, like maybe at the beginning of your journey, and you're like, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start up because like I really feel like I've got a lot more confidence than what I have. Have you actually done anything about that yet? Because sometimes we can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it, and then we still don't take the action. If you're still not taking the action, then there's more work to be done around that fear, around the mindset that you're actually listening to. And there's a couple of things that you can do for this. So if you are, and honestly, we all feel into fear a little bit, so it's probably all good for all of us to do this, but here's just a couple of quick things that you can do to try and stop feeling that fear still. So if you've still got that things around, maybe it's like raising your prices, maybe it's getting going, maybe it's joining the Nail Business Success Club if you were watching yesterday and you're like, I really want to join, but I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to do it, or I'm scared that it's not going to work for me, or something like that. Like, get super specific on what the fear is, because when we're just like, oh, I'm not sure it's going to work for me, or I shouldn't get going because what if I I'm scared that I might be a failure or something like that. Get really specific on what the actual fear is, because once you get really specific, then you can come up with a solution for it, so that if the worst does happen and that fear does become a reality to you, like say for example, you want to raise your prices but you're really scared to do it, but you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm doing it or not. What's the actual fear? So probably the actual fear is that all your clients are going to leave you. So if we then have to think about the what if strategies and we get really specific on it, if we know now that that's the fear, then what we can do is think, well, what would I actually do if that happens? And then what happens is, because we've really narrowed it down then on what the actual problem is, rather than just being like, oh my God, we get so overwhelmed with these massive fears that we don't really understand properly. If we spend some time thinking about it, realize exactly what the fear is, and then come up with some solutions for it. So then you're like, okay, well, if the worst does happen, well, I've got these 3 or 4 things that I know that I'm going to go and try and do, or that I'm going to do to rectify that. And then that can make that fear actually evaporate, or at least feel a lot less scary than what it once was. Okay, so a couple of little bit of housekeeping things. So we've still got our competition going. There are a lot of you that have been doing all your homework, so massive, massive well done. Probably a few less homeworks yesterday, but that always happens as the week goes on. For all of you that are still here and that are still doing the homework, you have a very high chance of winning the one-to-one coaching call with me, because what tends to happen is over the week people drop off because they're not as committed as you. So if you are one of the committed people, make sure you get your homework done today as well, hand it in, and then next Friday make sure you comment on the competition post that we're going to pop up first thing in the morning, and then you'll be entered into the competition. I'm going to go live at some point next Friday and pick the winner out of that, and you're going to win a 40-minute one-to-one Zoom call with me worth £97. So well worth the effort now of finishing on day 4. I cannot believe we're on day 4, by the way. Like, it's gone so sad. Who's giving me a crying face, please? Oh. Louise Jenkins, how do I hand it in? So you can do it on anything. You can write it on a Facebook post. You can do it on the workbook. If you've got the workbook, take a photo of it, hand it in this group. So this is the Nail Tech Tribe Facebook group. You can hand it in here. Why am I getting loads of sad faces? That makes me sad. I don't know what I said. Yeah, hand it in on there, and yeah, bish bash bosh. Okay, other little things. We have some more interviews. Oh, good. Now there's some love coming in. We have some more interviews coming up. If you didn't catch last night's interview, we interviewed Becky Cross in this Nail Tech Tribe Facebook group. And what we do is we're doing like a Inspire series of interviews. And so we're interviewing 4 nail technicians, beauticians who either work from home, mobile, rent a space in someone's salon, and that are really inspirational. So if you want to keep this going, you want to feel like anything is possible for you, and you really want to see what other people are able to achieve despite the things that they have going on, because we all seem to think that it's only us that has things going on and that we're the only one with this background story, or that, you know, we're the only one that's finding it hard, or that we have all these things going on. But honestly, and I know this because I speak obviously with all the one-to-ones I do in the Nail Business Success Club, people open up to me that there are literally, everyone has something going on that means that they couldn't do this. But those that have the success, like if it's that important to you to live an epic life, if it's that important to you to have a fully booked business, to bring in like loads of money, to have that pride in your business, like you will find a way to do it despite all of those things. And that's why like these Inspire series interviews are really good, because it really helps to open up your mind to think, you know what, I can do it. Like last night's one with Becky, you know, she was saying that she's on income support. Some of the other girls in the MBSC were saying that they're in a similar situation as well. And yet, you know, for a lot of people, they use that as you know, well, I can't get going because I'm on income support. Like it just means I can't. But, you know, they're kind of proving that actually you can. And this is the whole thing around mindset, is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've got going on. You get to choose whether that's going to make a difference to you or not. Like there was another lady that we interviewed actually it's probably coming up a year ago now, like Nicola Evans. Like she is incredibly inspirational. You can, if you type her name into the Facebook group, into the Nail Tech Tribe Facebook group, you'll find her. And she was a nail technician, and actually she was a brand new nail technician, and she actually had several strokes while she was training, and you know, she wanted to give up. Like we know how hard it is to become a nail technician. Like we know, like even though there's people who make it look super easy, we know how hard it is to perfect your skill. Now imagine having to do that alongside like suddenly losing like use of your hand and other things, like, and having to deal with all those health conditions on top of it. Yet she powered on through. Yes, it took her longer than she probably first thought it was going to be. Yes, it was probably so much harder than she thought it was ever going to be, but she did it. She got through it and she started a business. And, you know, when so many other people would have been like, no, I'm not going to do it now, it would have been too hard. She got a space in a hair salon, set up her nail business and got it working for her. And like, I find her so inspirational, and there are so many people that are making this work for them, even though they've got what I would say awful things going on in their life, horrific things that have happened to them in the past, and they're like, stop that. I'm not caring about that stuff anymore. I'm doing it anyway, and I want my dream. And so if it's possible for them, honestly, it is possible for all of us. Like, I bow down to all of you because I know how tough it is to get your businesses set up. Like, I know how tough it is to push forwards, to keep going day in, day out when we don't really feel like we're getting anywhere. Like, I have that so much as well. And yet one day you will be where you want to be. And you're going to look back and think, wow, yeah, that was really tough, but I did it, and how proud you are going to feel once you've done that. And so that's why it's so important not to keep listening to that devil on your shoulder, and to really like open your mind up to ways that you can get round that person, or just keep flicking away until they stop talking to you. So that Inspire series interviews, we have the next one. So I think we've got them on Sunday night. And then I can't remember the other nights. I'll put once we've done this, I'm going to pop a post up with all of the interviews and who they're with for the rest of the week, because there's 3 more to come. So they're going to be really worthwhile watching. We try and keep them to about half an hour, because I know you girls are busy and I know I've taken up a lot of your time already, but they are worth watching, and they will make you feel like, yes, I can do this even more, which is what you need, right? That's why this challenge is so good, because it's literally filling us all, even me included, when I'm talking about it, because I'm like, I need to take my own advice. Like, it's filling us with that motivation, that inspiration, and, you know, and some knowledge, right? And then the last thing I want to say before we dive into the training is the doors for the Nail Business Success Club are open. Again, completely overwhelmed by the amount of you that joined yesterday, like absolutely amazing. Like those of you that have stepped up already, that were like, hell yes, I'm doing this. Honestly, you all feel scared. I know everyone feels scared before they come and join. It's completely normal. Every single person in the MBSC will tell you they felt fear when they were signing up, because you're stepping out of your comfort zone, putting that investment in yourself. Like it is a hard thing to do. But like I was also saying this week, you want to get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, because that's running a business is going to feel like that quite a bit, especially in the beginning. And I'll tell you more about the Nail Business Success Club and that at the end as well. But I just wanted to say, like, massive well done to all of those that have signed up. I know there's a lot of you that are planning on joining us today as well. Doors are open until next Friday, but if you sign up by the end of tonight, you also get that added bonus, which is the free one-to-one with me. Anyway, more about that at the end. Let's dive in today's training. Andrea said, you just reminded me that I came here with £60 in my pocket, scared like hell. Yeah, I bet. This must be like, and where did you come from? Where did you come from? I can't imagine moving country. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, I'm like, insane. Tina joined yesterday. Yes, I bit the bullet, Joe, after our email last night. Actually, it was this morning, I think, Tina, or last night. I can't remember. I definitely remember seeing your name coming up, though. From Romania, Andrea. Amazing. Massive, massive, like, well done for getting through it and moving here and getting yourself going and finding yourself here in this challenge. Like, just incredible. So, like, I'm just so amazed by what everyone goes through. Okay, so epic clients. You cannot have an epic business or an epic life without epic clients. Like, they just need to go together. And what Becky was saying last night, and one of the things that I hear a lot from lots and lots of people inside the Nail Business Success Club, once they've implemented everything and got things going, is that they notice the difference in the clients that they have coming to them, because they're basically now attracting clients that are aligned with them and that are aligned with their type of business, as opposed to trying to attract everyone and attracting a whole load of people that maybe don't want to pay the price that you want to charge, don't ever really want to come back, that aren't. And the reason they don't want to come back is not because they don't think you're a good nail technician necessarily. It's your confidence, all the things we talked about this week, but they're not aligned with you. And, you know, like sometimes when you have a client and you're just not aligned with them and it's like difficult to talk to them and it's, you know, it's just a bit awkward and you don't really feel like you've gelled very well, that's because they're not your epic clients. Like, epic clients, we're going to go through 5 steps today on what it is that you need to do to make sure that these epic clients are, 1, in your business, but 2, that they keep coming back as well, because it's so important. As we've been saying, I don't want you starting each month on 0. I want you to be having incredible businesses. Like, this is part of your epic business and your epic life, is that you wake up each morning knowing exactly what you have coming in for the next 6 to 8 weeks in terms of income, and that you're not sitting there fretting that you don't have clients at the end of the week or next week or 2 weeks time, that everyone is rebooked in because you have epic clients. And how much of a joy is it when you know nearly every single client that you have coming to you? Like, I know, especially when I was mobile, like going into people's homes and having clients that I knew, and I didn't have to find the new houses all the time and, you know, not sure what I was walking into each time. It was much more beneficial for me to have it, like, returning clients, obviously, and have loyal clients. And not only is it better for like your books and, you know, your diary and everything like that, and knowing where you are in your business, but also it's just better for your brain, right? Like, making friends with your clients, getting to know them more. Life's just so much easier when you are removing your own product and redoing it and not having to worry about other people's work and all of that other stuff. So it's really important. Okay, so firstly, you need to know who your epic ideal client is. So most nail technicians go very, very broad. This is really, really important stuff, by the way. Like, when people message me saying that they're doing all the things, you know, we were talking about the other day, like doing all the tactics, but not getting anyone booking in, and they're like just looking for me to give them more tactics to do and tell them to change their tactics. And I'm like, it's not your tactics. Like, it's your marketing principles. And this is one of them, is that when we're trying to attract everyone, we don't have a niche, we don't know who it is that we're trying to attract in our business, and we're just randomly throwing nail pictures and all this stuff out into social media, not knowing who it is that we want to attract. When these random people see your stuff, because it is so broad and random and not talking to them specifically, they don't have anything to grab hold of with it. They're not like, what you want to happen is when someone sees your when someone sees your stuff on social media, on wherever they find you, you want them to look at your stuff and be like, oh my God, this looks amazing. I want to get my nails done with this person. Now, this will be different for different types of people, right? But that is basically the basic response that you want from your clients when they see your stuff. Now, they will not feel that if you are trying to attract everyone. Let me give you a really good example, and this is with French and Drench with my business. So I didn't know this stuff in the beginning, by the way. Like, I didn't have this here, but once I'd learned it and I realized how important it was, I implemented it more into my business. And basically, we were trying to attract, so with French and Drench, we were obviously a mobile nail service, and we wanted to, we basically had a niche. So a niche is like a specialized kind of section of the population, if you like. Now, mine was a demographic. So mine was busy working mums. It doesn't have to be a demographic. It can be a feeling people have. So you don't need to be like, oh, well, I like people of all ages and all different types of things. It's not necessarily that. I'm going to give you some more examples in just a minute. But it's, for my example, it was that we had busy working mums. And what happened was, when we weren't the cheapest, like I was saying, when we advertised, because we were talking very specifically to busy working mums and being like, we're going to come to your house when you get home from work, you've put your kids to bed, and that, you know, someone is going to arrive, you're going to be able to sit on your sofa with a glass of wine or a cup of tea, and we're going to give you a relaxing foot massage or a lovely gel manicure in the comfort of your own home whilst your kids are asleep upstairs. No need for childcare, blah, 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 blah. And what that did was, those people, because it's a bit like a novelty, right? They're like, oh my God, like, someone's going to come to my house like at 8 p.m. at night, like once my kids are in bed, and get their nails done. Hell yeah, like, I want that. And then they would tell all their friends about it, and we grew really quickly, like, compared to a lot of other people, mobile nail technicians especially. It's a bit different if you've got a salon on your high street and you've got like tons of footfall, right? But you know, we grew, and because we knew exactly who it was that we were trying to attract into our business. And then not only that, but we made everything about our business what those people would need and want. So for most nail technicians, we're just like, right, I'm going to start my business and I'm going to choose the gel polish I want, and I'm going to choose, I don't know, the pricing that I just think, and that's about it, really. That's where most people get to. It starts with the client in mind first. You have to know who it is that you're trying to attract, and then make your business for them. Everything, literally everything. The booking process, the branding, like your website, the service that you offer, the products that you have. Like for us, like we use C&D shellac. Like this is just one small example. Like we use C&D shellac, and it wasn't the most hardcore like gel polish on the market, right? Like most of us know that. There are a lot stronger products that last longer. But for us, it worked really, really well, because our clients, they weren't the type of people that wanted the same polish on for 3 or 4 weeks. They were people that wanted to look immaculate all the time. And so they wanted to have that polish that was, one, would last around 2 weeks, and then the growth would be too much for them anyway. But also they wanted to be able to remove it themselves if they needed to. And so for us, and also it was easy for us to remove, because we were a mobile service. You know, we didn't want our clients sitting there for half an hour having to get the stuff off before we even started. They didn't have the time for that. They needed fairly quick like services. I mean, not that we rushed them, but you know, we didn't want to be sitting there for 2 hours. Like these people were busy people. They didn't have time for that. They just wanted to have a nice relax, have the service done, and then for us to leave. You know, so we use C&D shellac. So we were client focused first, not us first, not what do we want to do. Always think about what it is that your client wants. Okay. The other thing is that I want to say about this is, until you niche down, is this all making sense as well, everyone? Like, give me a little thumbs up if this is making sense. I know it is quite difficult to get your head around it. And I do sometimes think, should I be talking about this stuff in an hour's training? But cool. Okay, lovely. Lots of love hearts and everything. So that's amazing. Okay, so until you niche down, I want you to see it like this. Imagine there's a big lake, right? And there are 1,000 nail technicians around it, and they're all just putting their fishing nets in, fishing rods in, I need a more girly example than this, putting their fishing rods in and basically just all trying to attract the same types of fish from the lake. Like when you have, that's like your example of a saturated market. That's what it is for most people. Now, imagine if you go to a more exclusive lake where it's more expensive to go, but there's less people going fishing there. And there's the same amount of fish there, but there's less people fishing. You are gonna get more fish, right? The same thing goes for your business. If you take yourself, Lily, like 99% of nail technicians are all going for the same clients. They're doing the same things. We've learnt this week. They're charging the same. Their branding's blah. What do I call it? Bland branding. It's very passive. We're just all trying to go for the same types of people. If you're that different nail tech now, and this is like why the girls in the Nail Business Success Club get like go nuts, because and then businesses take off because they've pulled themselves out of that lake and they've gone to their own lake. And when you go to your own lake and go for your own niche, your own specific pool of fish, like then you have no competition. And this for us was absolutely key to why I was able to grow it. Now, I'll admit, I found it much harder when I had a team, but this is why I teach sole trader nail technicians how to grow their businesses and not massive salons, because I know that exactly to do that and how to get to 5K months when it's you on your own. And trust me, it is a lot less stressful when it's just you. And anyway, what do I want to say about that? There was an extra thing I wanted to say about that. Okay, so you want to take yourself into your own niche, because that, once you have that, like with French and Drench, like I was saying, with our niche that we had, people used to say, like, how are you able to charge, like, what you're charging? Like, not my clients would say this, but just random, I don't know, people. How are you able to charge more and you're so busy? Like, what is it that you're doing? Like, do you not, like, it must be that you don't have any competition in your area. No, that was not it. But I didn't see that competition. Like, honestly, I blocked all, these are really good tips, by the way. Like, I always blocked all competition from me. I did not need to know what anyone else was doing. I didn't need to worry what anyone else was doing. I didn't need to compare myself to what anyone else was doing. I just solely focused on what I was doing and what my clients were doing. And that meant, and because we had a niche and because we knew exactly who it was that we were trying to get into our business, as opposed to going for everyone like everyone else was, it meant that we had no competition. And because all of us are in a saturated market, like we're all in we all say there's a million nail technicians surrounding us and they're all charging next to nothing and it's impossible to get clients. Like, it isn't. It only is if you're trying to go after the same people as everyone else. Pull yourself out of that. I know it's hard. I know it needs strength. That's why we have the Nail Business Success Club there, right? To help you navigate through this, because, having this information is great, but actually following through and actually like doing it and because it takes bravery to do this, right? Because our instinct is that the more people we're trying to attract, the better it's going to be for our business. And so you're kind of going against the grain, and it takes strength to be able to do that and support to be able to do that. But it is really, really important to do. And if you do that, you won't see that competition anymore, and people will love you for you. And we've all got so many unique things in our personalities, in our skills themselves that differentiate us, and there are a ton of different niches that you can have. Like, literally the world is your oyster when it comes to it. I'm going to give you a couple of other examples. I was talking yesterday about Carissa Hill. Her business in Australia, when she had her beauty business, was called Hot Stuff Beauty, and they did hot stuff beauty. They did fake tans, hair extensions, like all the fake stuff, for like glamour models and people like that, and people that wanted that type of look. Like, how specific is that? If she had just opened up another salon doing all different beauty treatments, she probably would not have been half as busy. Maybe she would, because she has good marketing, but she had a niche. Another great example is, so this is an example of one where it's not a demographic. So, because I know lots of you will be like, I do tons of different treatments and all my clients like have, at different ages. It doesn't have to be an age. And like with French and Drench, it was really interesting because even though my niche was busy working women, it was about kind of success, being able to have it all if you wanted it all. We attracted a lot of older people, but they tended to be the people that had success. Like, they had nice houses, they'd worked really hard when they were younger, they'd worked, we had a lot of lawyers, doctors, that type of people like on our books, because that is who we were trying to attract. And honestly, it's going to make your life so much easier if you have a niche, and especially one that can afford the things that you want. Like, what is the point of going after, like, I see so often, and I wanted to be like this in the beginning, like I really, really did. And I was like, I want to offer affordable nail services that everyone can afford. Like, and that got me going. Like, it did get me going, but I wasn't going to make any money that way, and I wasn't going to push myself and grow that way. And so it's about being brave and really thinking things through. Like, you want to have a successful business that even when we're in a recession, that your business is going to keep on surviving, that people aren't just going to be like, oh, I'm really sorry, I've lost my job, so, I can't afford to get it done anymore. Like, think things through. Think about how can you set your business up better so that it's prepared, for things like COVID. Like, this is a crazy, once in a 10 lifetimes thing that happened, right? But if we had been more prepared, it's different because everything got closed down. It's not the same as a recession. But for those that had been charging 40, 50, 60 pounds for a shellac or whatever it was that they were before, they had that money put aside. They were able to have savings. They weren't living paycheck to paycheck. So when it all kicked off, they weren't in as much stress as the other people. And so it's about thinking about the future, like how can you prepare your business and get it so it's in a great place, so that it's not just providing for you now, but it's providing for you long term, and that actually it's a sustainable business, because we have to understand that things are going to get thrown to us. Like, we can see all this stuff happening in the news all the time. Like, there's this, I don't even know what it's going on. I really try not to watch the news, but like all this, I think like something going on with like the gas and things at the moment. So all like the food companies and everything, again, they've been thrown with something that's hitting them out. So they have to make sure that when they're working out their prices and things, that they have, and that, all of these things that they're thinking about when they're starting their business, that they have some money aside for times when the things go bad, because we can't live it perfectly all the time. Like, things are going to get thrown to us. And I bring this up now because it's like, it's kind of important to start thinking about when you're thinking about your niche, like who it is that you want to attract into your business now. Like, it's not worth, you don't want to just leave everything up to fate and just hope that everything's going to be okay for the next 10 years and that you don't need to worry about it. Like, think things through. How can you, we're talking about having an epic life, an epic business. How can you make your business as easy as possible for yourself, as opposed to just going with the easy option, because it's going to pay off for you in the future. Okay. One other example I want to give of a niche, just to give you one more idea as well. There is a lady in the Nail Business Success Club called Sally Ann. We interviewed her in the... Sorry, I just want to answer this comment. That's my worry about the gas and food thing, etc. I'm thinking people may not have the money for their beauty treatments. This is exactly what we're talking about. So you don't want to go for the people that aren't going to be able to afford to get their nails done with you. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, having a niche, making sure that you've thought in advance about who is the perfect type of person for your business, so that you don't have these problems. You don't have to worry about this. Like, this is why, like, when we charge low and we attract people that only want cheap treatments, they tend to be the people that are on a lower income. And unfortunately for those people, it also tends to be the jobs that get made redundant quicker. It's really sad, but it's the way that it works. And so it's thinking things through logically. How can I get my business so that it's not going to cause me this stress when things happen, rather than I'm just going to wait and see what happens and hopefully it will be all right. Okay, so this other example I want to give of Sally Ann. So she rents a space in her mum's salon, and there's a few of them there. And she was really struggling to think of her niche. She's like, I just don't know. Like, we're a salon on the high street. I just don't know, like, why someone would come to us over anyone else. I'm not really too sure who it is that I'm trying to target with my marketing, etc., etc. And we had a chat about it, and I got her to talk about her salon and tell me like what happens in there, the types of people that go in there, why people go in there, etc., etc. And we came up with this idea that, well, not even an idea, it really is what she was doing, but she just wasn't getting it across in her marketing. And this is the thing, it's not enough for you to just know that you have a niche, you actually have to get it out there. Like, and this is, again, what we teach you inside the Nail Business Success Club, how to actually get these things across, because it's way more than I can fit into this 1 hour training today. But like, we came up with this thing that actually the reason that her salon was different was because it was more of like this community feel. Some people would just pop in for a cup of tea, like have a natter, like, you know, some they wouldn't even be getting a treatment. They just wanted to come in and say hi to everyone. And people talk to each other in there. And it was just a really nice community feel and a really nice friendly feel. And I was like, that's your niche. You want to attract people that are like that. Like, that's your difference. That's what's making you different to everyone else on that high street. Like, but the thing is there might be other nail technicians and other salons on her high street that are like that. But because they haven't done this training and they don't realise they're not actually getting that across in their marketing, no one knows it anyway. What's the point of having a niche? No one knows it. What's the point of having all these amazing, like, personality traits, unique selling points that you have, but you're not actually, no one knows about them? Absolutely pointless. Like, you have to get it across in your marketing as well. It's not enough for just you to know it. Okay. I'm just gonna read some of the comments. Let me know if that all makes sense to everyone. And is it something that you've thought about before? Do you know, like, what your niche could be? Have you got ideas spinning in your head now? Like, do you need to sit down and have a bit more of a think about it? Okay, so I want to move on to epic clients. In your homework, where's my day 4? Got everything out, laid out nicely, and then I think I'm like talking and just messing everything up. Is it in here? No. Okay, it doesn't matter. But if you've got day 4, what have I done with it? I do kind of want it. Okay, I can't find it, but we'll find it in a minute. Day 4, there is a client avatar picture for you. Actually, before I do that, I just want to read some of these comments. My head is going to blow. I've got notes all over my table. Me too. Honestly, I've got literally stuff everywhere here. Tracy Young, makes so much sense. Learning so much. Amazing, Tracy. Amy Rose, I have 3 in mind and don't know which one to go for. Too many ideas and my brain is getting confused. Yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming to think about this, but like, it's good to know all this stuff and then you can just process it. And that's why, like, having the Nail Business Success Club is good, because obviously you have like the 6 months in there in order to like actually learn this stuff in a lot more depth, because really, again, we are like just touching the surface with it all. Okay, so if you've got the workbook, you've got a client avatar. So it's really important that you know exactly who it is that you're trying to attract. One of the ways to do this is to think about one person literally, and then make everything for your business for that one person. It could be a version of you. It could be an existing client that you have. It could be once you've figured out what your niche is, like, you know, you think about like the type of person that would be in that niche. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It really doesn't. Like, it's just about getting started, and it will always evolve. Like, my ideal clients, even in here, evolve all the time. Like, for me, inside the Nail Business Success Club, my ideal clients are people who take action. They are people who are positive. They say yes to things. They don't hold themselves back. They come and ask for help when they need it. They don't fall into victim mode and blame everything else for their troubles. Like, but that has really evolved over time. And now I have a very clear idea of who it is. And the same thing goes with French and Drench. Like, in the beginning, it was a bit more blurred. And then over time, I became really clear on who it was that we were trying to attract. And it makes you feel so much better about your business as well. Marketing is easier. You don't need to worry when people are like, no, it's too expensive, because you just know that they're not your epic client and that actually you're not going for them anyway. There's a million other nail technicians that they can go to. They're obviously not for you. And it makes you feel a bit better. Like, you know, if someone's like, oh, you're too expensive. Oh, I don't care. I've got all my tribe. Okay. Give me 1 minute, guys. Okay. So You can fill in we'll talk about the avatar at the end, but you can fill that in basically, and just basically as many points as possible that you can know about your ideal client, the better. Because step one is of having epic clients for your epic business is that you know who your ideal client is. So basically the best thing to do is to grab your client avatar from the workbook. If you don't have it, literally just draw a stick man on a piece of paper, write epic client at the top, draw about 20 lines coming out of it, and then don't do it now because I want you to listen to the rest of the training, but do that after, so that because it's really important, like steps, this is just step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5 is really, really important as well. Okay, so if you, what do I want to say? Okay, so you want to know who your ideal client is. So like I was saying, either use a past version of yourself, make it up, or use an existing client that you have. So that's step 1, and that's to get that avatar done. The more you know about them, the better. But just start with like 20 points. It could be things like where they live. It could be the types of things that they think, what's important to them, what's not important to them, how they show up for you, the types of things they do in their life, have they got a family, do they work, like all of those things. Because once you have a real good picture of that, you can start figuring out how you can start attracting them into your business. Like, when would you post? What would you post? What do they need to see to believe in you? Like, where do they hang out? Where can you advertise? Like, all of those things. This is why having a very clear picture of your niche or your ideal client really like makes everything about your business easier. Because your marketing is now very, very specific, and you only have to think about one person and not 100 different types of people. Okay, so once you have that, step 2, find out as much as I've started talking about this a little bit actually, I'm a bit ahead of myself. Find out as much as we can about them. So we've talked about this very, very briefly this week, but people buy based on emotion, right? So it's really important, and feeling. So it's really important that we know why it is that these people will use you. And I see so often, this is a really good point actually, is like when people have clients coming into them, they ask them how they found out about you, which is an amazing bit of information because it means that you can go back onto Facebook or Instagram or whatever and do some more advertising. But there's a much more important question, and that's why did they come to you? Not where did they find you, why did they come to you? When you know that, oh my God, you are going to be loving life, because then you can use that in your marketing to attract more clients coming in. Okay, so once we know like their feelings and emotions, step 3, we talk to them and only them in our advertising. So once we know about them, we know what it is, what makes them tick, why they would want to book with you, like what's going to get them booking in with you as opposed to all the other nail technicians, we only talk to them in our marketing. We stop trying to please everyone. We stop trying to, for example, if you know that your ideal client, like for us, this is actually a really good point as well. For our ideal clients, like we knew, because they were busy working mums, our specific type of client didn't like to have long nails. Like for most of them, they kept their nails fairly short. We just did gel polish or regular polish, and like luxury spa manicures and luxury spa pedicures. And when they didn't have that much nail art, we did a bit of nail art, like we did stamping, Christmas we do quite a bit, we did a ton of glitter, but when all the things came out, like this is a fast-paced industry, right? Like every week there's something new, and people are like, oh my God, now you've got to train for this, and you've got to do this, and you've got like chrome, and you've got, I don't know, whatever they call them, I don't know, all the different types of like nail art and all the different things that keep getting thrown at you all the time, and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to keep up with everything? Like I saw someone's biggest challenge joining the Nail Tech tribe this morning. They'd written as the answer to their biggest challenge was keeping up with all the gel polish stuff, and I'm like, when you have a niche and an ideal and an epic client, like swirls, that's another one, like you know exactly what it is that they want. Now, if you are a nail art specialist, then yes, you need to keep on top of that. But for French and Drench, and Helen Burton Ward, who's one of the success coaches in the MBSC, was saying to me, like one of the things that she noticed back in the day when we both ran our nail businesses was that I kept things simple. Like I was not going like when everyone else was like, right, I'm doing this and I'm going to follow the trends and I'm doing all this stuff that like all these crazy nail art things and I'm buying this all the time and I'm buying that. I knew that my clients didn't want that. And And because I knew who my niche was and who my ideal client was. And so I didn't waste my time trying to learn everything. I just was very specific about what we needed to do. And when people would be like, oh, you know, you're going to like, because we did get requests for Chrome. Oh, you get Chrome. And we did have it for a bit. But it took too long. It didn't work for my business. And we were just like, no, we're not doing it anymore. And we just stuck to what we knew. And that really, really helped us, because what then happens, because we all know, like when we try and do all these things, one, it takes us quite a long time to actually go out and learn how to do it. But also when we're actually trying to do it on the clients, things go wrong. We get stressed. We don't do the best service because we're trying to do too much. Keep it simple. And honestly, you're going to have so much more success and, you know, knowing who it is that your ideal clients are as well. So Poppy's like, what would you have done if a client asked for something wacky? So we would set, like, when people booked our appointments, you know, they could book a nail art one or they could book a standard schlag. Now, if they booked a nail art one, we literally, because we had a team of us as well, we couldn't all be great at, you know, and my team were brand new nail techs as well. Like we trained them from scratch before they started. Like you just couldn't do it. We couldn't do crazy nail art all the time. So it just wasn't something that we offered. Now, obviously for some of you, there will be, but it comes down to that confidence again of knowing, no, I don't need to say yes to everything. I don't need to say that I'm good at everything. I don't have to be good at everything. I'm enough. Like we're all enough already. We can say no to the things that we don't want to do and for the things that don't work for our business. And we don't need to be forced into thinking that we have to do nail art and we have to do wacky stuff if that's not aligned with us and actually doesn't profit or work for our business. Like we're not here as puppets for our clients. We're here running a business and we get to run it the way that we want to run it, rather than just letting people just request things left, right and centre. It's about my coach, Claire, she talks about being the queen of your business or the servant girl of your business. And like, you know, it's one of the things we talk about in the Nail Business Success Club. And this is the things that people just don't think about. And this is exactly why the Nail Business Success Club is so good, because we keep you like thinking like in a great way. We keep you moving forward because there's all these little things. You know, we've covered a lot in this 4 days, but this is literally, you know, in the Nail Business Success Club, it's like 6 months worth of stuff in there, right? We've literally done like 4 days worth together. We've like hitting like a tiny little bit of the information that really can really open up your mind and give you those limitless like possibilities and to be able to live that epic life. You know, but you know, if you're just being the servant girl and letting everyone walk all over you, tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing in your business, or are you the queen of it and you get to decide exactly what's going to happen for it? Yeah, I know, I feel a little bit ranty. I'm not ranting, I'm just getting my point across, I guess. Okay, So step 3, so let me just recap the steps for you. So 1, know who your ideal client is. 2, find out as much as you can about them. Step 3, talk to them and only them in your advertising. Step 4, what we tolerate, we get. Kind of brings online from what we were just talking about a little bit, I guess. We need to teach our clients how to treat us. Now, when I'm talking about epic clients, all your clients, including nearly all your clients anyway, will eventually start walking all over you if you don't have policies and procedures and things in place to protect yourself. Even the best people, even the ones that you love, because if you don't respect your time, yourself, your business, then no one else is going to as well. And this is why it's so important not just to just have friends and family on your books. Like I know I've seen so many people the last few days that are like, oh yeah, I'm just going to work on my friends and family, like, you know, and that's fine. But it's not a business. It's just a hobby, really, when you're doing that. And it is so hard to run a business based on friends and family. Like I have good friends, like they couldn't stick to their appointments. My mum was really good. She's always really, really good. Always paid, even though I didn't always want her to. And really, really supported me. But for you know, especially friends, I think, you know, they can really mess us around and they don't realise that actually this is a proper business that we've really invested in and that we've put lots of time and effort into. So that's why it's so important to be able to actually attract full paying clients and not just like, you know, friends and family. But like, people will mess you around, and I see so many posts in other Facebook groups and even in the MBSC, people fall into it still in the Nail Tech tribe, especially when they're like newer to it. And I see people moaning about people that have cancelled on them, and they are frustrated and annoyed. And I completely get it, because I was exactly the same. Now, you will carry on, even if you're brand new, you might not have had this yet, so you might not know the feelings, and you might be thinking, oh, I won't have that problem, like, because I used to think that, no, I won't have that problem, it's all fine. And then as you get bigger and as you start attracting more clients, you start having these problems of people turning up late, not turning up at all, cancelling last minute, wanting to change their appointments all the time, and it's just a pain in the backside, and it does not lead to having an epic business or an epic life. It just causes you a lot of stress. But I see a lot of people moaning, and they're like, oh, you know, how my clients let me down again, I'm so annoyed. If we go back to day one, where I told you about taking responsibility for your life and business, every part of your business is your responsibility, and it's not down to your clients. It's your responsibility to have the policies in place. It's your responsibility to have the right procedures in place so that this does not happen to you. And if you are one of those people that's moaning or has this problem right now, then you need to do something about it. Like, you have to get these policies in place. And I know it's, again, comes down to confidence. And again, it's one of the reasons, just one of the many, many, many reasons why being in the Nail Business Success Club helps. Because a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, I've got my cancellation conditions in place. Do you use them? Are they working for you? Like, do you need to make some amendments, because you're still getting very, very stressed over it? And it absolutely pains me to see people moaning when it is actually a fairly easy thing to implement into your business, but it does come down to confidence at the end of the day. Leanne said, don't worry about what they're doing, I take 50%. Yeah. Good people. Tanya's like, yep, booking fuel is in place. And that's really, really good if you already have these things in place, because it's much harder to start implementing them once you've got going, right? And once you've got a few clients on your books. Okay. Step 5, keep the nail clients coming back. This is a big one for so many people. We've touched on it, I think, yesterday in our training. Again, it is your responsibility to get your clients to come back. I see posts in Facebook groups, and I hear from nail techs that who have this belief that people in their area just don't want to rebook. The people in their area just don't like getting their nails done. The people in their area don't book things ahead of time. Trust me, it is down to you. And I can say this with absolute fact, because I know the girls in the Nail Business Success Club, that some of them have 95% rebook rate. We had a really high rebook rate. And they're not in one specific area. They are up and down the country. They're in all different sized areas. Some are in really small villages. Some are in really big towns. Some are in deprived areas. Some are in more richer areas. It doesn't make a difference. The difference is you. The difference is how confident you are. The difference is the strategies and the policies that you have in place that are going to mean that people rebook. It's not down to luck whether your clients rebook. It's normally not even down to your skill. Your skill, because a lot of people are, I'm not good enough, not have the confidence to go and ask them to rebook. What if they say no, they're not going to like me? Your skill is probably this much of the decision for the client. Your personality and the strategies that you use are this much. It is all down to you to get those rebooks. For anyone that's going currently already, that has their business up and running, that isn't full. It always worries me when people are like, oh, I've been going 5 years and I'm only 50% full. I'm like, well, you've either got a major problem with getting new clients in the door, or you've got a major problem with keeping them. Or both in some instances. And again, in the Nail Business Success Club, we have just one masterclass that we have in there. It's called Clockwork Clients, and the whole thing is focused around how we keep these clients coming back like clockwork. It's not luck, it's just down to you, and it's just down to strategies. And for anyone that starts thinking, oh, but I don't like asking for people to rebook, think back to yesterday with the beliefs. It's the same thing as with that selling. It's just the beliefs that you have around it and the confidence, and this is exactly what we can give you once you're inside the Nail Business Success Club. Okay, so that's about keeping them coming back. like we've worked a lot around beliefs. Like a lot of these things come down to confidence. They come down to you having the confidence to actually implement them into your business and to keep them going, right? And not to fall into scarcity around them and starting to think like, oh, but no one's going to read book. Like no one's going to, people are not going to like me if I ask them to read book. People aren't going to like me if I, only go for one specific type of person. Like what about all the other people? What are they going to think? What are my friends going to think? Like all these things can come up, and it really all comes down to your mindset and your belief. And this is why, like in the Now Business Success Club, we have 3 areas, right? We have build belief, which we've covered a lot over the last 4 days, magnetize section, and which we've barely touched. Like, honestly, there is so much to go through. And then the Earn With Ease section. And it's all 3 of those that you need in order to get to 5K months. If you want to speed things up, if you want to get to these 3, 4, 5K months like quickly without it taking you like 5 or 10 or even never years to get there, it's about following a process that we know works. It's about actually taking the steps that you need to in order to do it. Because if you're not already there, then probably you don't know everything that you need to in order to get there, and probably you don't have quite the right mindset to get there. We talked on day 2 about money mindset and how really we get to choose right now how much it is that we make. And that feels like a really long time ago, right? We get to choose how much we make. I just want to check on the time. We're really good. We're good for time. We get to choose how much we make, right? And so we get to decide right now, what is it that we're going to make? Like we don't have to think, oh well, it's okay for me to make that in 10 years' time. It's okay for me to make that once I'm a great nail technician. You actually can start doing that now. And if you actually want to work on that and stop just waiting for things to happen and hope that things are going to get better, and actually follow a proven process. I'm going to say it's proven because we have so many people in the Now Business Success Club that have had amazing results. So I want to tell you about the homework first of all, and then I want to tell you more about the Client Magnetisation Method, because this is the process that you can follow in order to get to these 5K months. And that's what we teach very specifically inside the Now Business Success Club. Now, I need to find my day 4 home worksheet. I found it! Yay, I found it! Isn't it weird? Like earlier, I'm like looking through, can't find it, and then in like 1 second I found it. Can you let me know, before we dive into the homework, what your biggest takeaway has been from the week? Because obviously we are drawing to the end of the challenge. Honestly, it has blown me away having all of you here. Like I've absolutely loved doing it, and has made me feel really good as well, which is lovely. Lovely to have like really nice comments, and just so lovely of all of you to be so lovely to me as well. Like it's really scary for me putting myself out there like this, and sometimes we do get horrible people on it, and it makes me really upset. And so I'm really thank you all so much for being so lovely and warming to me as well. Oh, Nicola, that's good. Having a positive mindset, I'm good enough, and to plan and focus. I have to say my little words, fine. To find the types of clients that I want. Yeah, today's is so important. And if you ever feel like, over the next few days, you're like, start falling back into that scarcity again, listening to all the wrong people, not surrounding yourself with the positivity, just come back and rewatch one of the challenges again. Because honestly, just like Nicola was just saying in one of the comments then, we are able to rewatch stuff and we can take new stuff from it every single time. I need a specific area for me. I need to recharge my advertising. It's been a great 4 days. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, so day 4 homework. I want you to complete your client avatar, and I want you to come and post that in the Now Tech Tribe Facebook group. And also, I want you to share on the pink sheet here, or write it into Facebook when you're sharing your thing. The biggest takeaway from the week, from this whole week, basically, the biggest thing that you feel like, oh my God, that was a massive aha moment for me, and I need to get on that, or I need to change that. Elle said, from this week, I've learned I'm worth more than what I thought, and I need to provide my clients with a service they will. I can't read the rest of it, but I kind of get what you were saying. Okay, so I want to just tell you more about the Client Magnetisation Method. So this is the trainings, and this is the proven method, the process, whatever you want to call it, that we take you through inside the Nail Business Success Club. And I'm going to give you an outline of it now, because it is going to be, even if you don't decide to come and join us, knowing this outline is incredibly valuable for you anyway. And these are the 3 areas that I see that people need to do in order to hit these 5K months. Because what we're teaching you inside the Nail Business Success Club isn't, I was saying this yesterday, it isn't about just getting a few clients in through the door. Like, I see some people this week and they're like, yeah, I've got some clients, this is amazing. And that is absolutely incredible. And I'm like, that is amazing. I want you to build on that. I want you to grow from there. But there's new level, new devil, right? And every single time we get to a new level in our business, something else is going to start like clicking in our brain, giving us that fear. Things are going to start coming back, and then we need that support to get through it. Like, how many questions do you have around your nail business? How many times are you like, oh, I wish I could ask someone for help with this? Like, I wish I knew the answer to this from someone who's already been through it. This is one of the many reasons it's so good being in the MBSC, because you get that instantly, right? Like, you get you can get that support and get that help and get that answer, so that you can move quicker through the process. Because for most of us, let me give you an example. When it comes to like pricing, for example, and people are like, oh, I don't know what to charge, and then they spend 4 or 5 weeks trying to figure it out. In the Nail Business Success Club, you would just go and watch the pricing masterclass, come and ask for support, show us your thing, bish bash bosh, in 1 week, you're done and you can move on. And this is why some people spend years getting to the goal that they want to, and others, like Kayla, 9 months, quit her day job, was doing nails full time. And this is why you pay to join, right? Because it's speeding up the process for you. It's getting you, it's not just about the knowledge that you learn. Like, the knowledge is just one part of it, but it's all the support that you get alongside that, and all the mindset stuff, because that is what's going to keep you moving forward. And like we were saying before, surrounding yourself with the right types of people, the people that are going to be able to support you and are not going to bring you down, the people that are proving to you day in, day out that this is possible, like, that just makes such a massive, massive difference. Oh, Tracy's joining us in the MBSC. Amazing. Okay, so client magnetization method. Before I keep getting distracted, don't I? Step 1 is build belief. So we've covered a little bit of that this week. Like, we've started talking a little bit around pricing. We've started talking a little bit around getting the right mindset in place, having that confidence. Like, from a load of you, I've seen so many comments saying that confidence is like one of the things that they've got out of this. Like, and if you think you feel like that, and how different you feel from the start of the week to now about your business and how much you've learned, like, how crazy could that be 6 months from now? Because with this build belief section that we have in the MBSC, this is where you start. This is where we really start getting you in the right frame of mind, so that you can go out and have these 3 to 5K months, so that you start seeing this progress straight away. And it's really interesting, because then we move on to the client magnetization method. But now techs that join the MBSC, even before they've got to the client magnetization method and they've actually started implementing all the strategies and things that we teach to actually get clients through the door, they already start seeing results, because their mindsets change. And as soon as you join and you get that thing in your head that's like, I deserve to join and I signed up, it like turns this little cog in your head that like, I deserve this. And so when you put that energy out into the world, you just get more of it back. And that's why, like, it's insane. Like, I have so many comments, screenshots from nail technicians that have joined, and literally, like, they're literally like, I joined last week, I've had 5 new clients. I joined last week, I've got 10 new clients. Like, I joined last week, I've got 2 new clients. Like, and they're over the moon with that. They're like, because the 3 weeks before that, the 5 weeks before that, they had no clients. And like, whether you already have a lot of clients or you're brand new to this, like, if you've already got a lot of clients, then it might be that you can get 50 new clients in the next 2 months. If you've got no clients, it might be that for you, getting 5 new clients in the next month is going to be insane. And it's like different levels for different people, right? But it is amazing that really it comes down to that belief. But once you have that belief, then we have the strategies alongside it to help you as well. So this is where we teach you. So we go through exactly how to brand your business, exactly like more depth, and really help you. Like, you can come and join on the success session calls, so that we can help you to nail your niche, so that we can help you to see your unique selling points, so that you know this, because I know it is hard for some of us to bring it out of ourselves. Like, and that's why we have these weekly success session calls in the Nail Business Success Club, so you can come on a Zoom with me and we can get it out of you, what's going on, like, what is it that we can that makes you different, and you can't always see it yourself. But me, I know the questions to ask you to bring it out, and we've done it many times, and then we're like, right, that's your face lit up when you started talking about that. That's your niche, that's your unique selling point, that's what we need to go with in your marketing. And you know, that really does make a difference. So we teach you all of that, how to brand your business, how to use like all the systems that you might need to use. Like, so if you're not tech savvy, like honestly, I think 80% of the MBSC people are like, I'm not tech savvy, and they get through it because we give you like step by steps of exactly what to do, as well as why you need to do it and all the information that you need. And yeah, we teach you exactly how to use Facebook. Like, and this isn't just, I know a lot of people, I use Facebook. This isn't just click here, do this. This is like, what is it that you need to be writing on your post? What type of photos do you need to have? What call of action is the best call to action to use? Where should you be posting? What time you should be posting? How often you should be posting? How to share properly into groups. I know that everyone here has probably, or those that have been left too scared to do it, have shared into a Facebook group. And some people are like, it doesn't work, I didn't get any clients from it. Or they've tried Facebook advertising, it doesn't work, don't get any clients from it. Instagram, same thing, tried it, didn't work. It's not working because your marketing principles weren't in place, and it's not working because you're not writing the right thing and you're not trying to attract the right types of people into your business. Once you have this information and once you know exactly what it is, then these things are going to start working for you. And if they don't start working for you straight away, we're here to support you. Because there are, people come in, some people instant results. Other people, I've been trying it, I've only got 3 new clients from it. Like, what am I doing? Well, everyone else seems to be getting incredible results. Why am I not getting them? And we'll look. And often we look and we're like, well, you're not doing what we follow, or you're not doing enough of it, or whatever it is. And we're here to support you through it. And there's tons of examples of nail technicians that have been on the success session calls or put a question into the Tuesday question thread, which is another way that you can get support in the MBSC. And they're like, you know what, I've tried this ad. Why isn't this ad working? Give them some advice on it, get them to retweak it, they put it back up and it takes off. And it is amazing because even though it may take you a while to get it going, once you have your marketing going, once you have your, an advert, you only need one ad to get going, and you literally can just leave it running and get as many clients as you need from it. That is the joy. That's why these nail techs are able to get to 3 to 5K and beyond in some cases, because they know once you know how to attract clients, and once you have a process in place inside your business and the systems in place so that people are always coming back, and you have that confidence, that's when you can start charging more and really bringing in those amazing months that really do lead you to have that epic life. That's like you being able to just take your family on holiday for 2 weeks. That's you. I was talking about with Becky last night, being able to buy her son the Spider-Man bike for his birthday and some other bits. One of the girls in the NBC, I think it might have been Sally actually, and she's like, I wanted to buy I needed some new frying pans. Before, I never would have even stepped into John Lewis to be able to go and buy myself. I would have just bought something really cheap, and now I was able to go and buy a £50 frying pan. And I know that sounds absolutely mad, but it's all these little things that lead you to have that epic life, right? Because when you get that frying pan out to do your cooking on a Wednesday night, and you're like, yeah, it reminds you, doesn't it? It's all the cognitive stuff in your brain. It reminds you, yeah, I've got that because and then it brings that pride back and that confidence, and it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. And we teach you all that. We then move through to, so once we've done the client magnetization section, so this is the section where you're starting to bring in the clients into your business. This is where people start to get really busy. And then what we need to do is automate it so that you're not unbalanced and don't have any life, because this isn't about you having a stressful business. What we teach you inside the Nail Business Success Club is that you can have a epic life, right? So that your business isn't incredibly stressful for you. Now, that doesn't mean it's not ever going to be stressful, because you're running a business at the end of the day. Even going to a job is stressful, right? There is always some elements of things that are going to happen and things, but it's all about you learning all the time and actually having that support and confidence to move you through it. But once you get busy and you don't have as much time to do marketing anymore, you don't have as much time to have conversations with people and to get people booked in, we show you exactly how to automate the service. And this is the dream, right? Because you wake up in the morning, and there are girls in the MBSC will tell you this all the time, wake up in the morning, or they're at the soft play with their kids, or they've just done the school run, and they go home and they pick up their phone, and there's £100 worth of appointments on there. Because people now, you followed a process where people find out that you exist. They head to your Facebook page or your social media, they like what they see, they take the next step and head to your website, which you've built yourself, by the way, even if you are not tech savvy at all, and it's going to cost you less than £10 a month to do that. You have an amazing website for yourself. People can find you on Google, they book in online, and then they pay, and then they turn up at the appointment, and you have money in your bank before you've even done the appointments. That is how an epic business works and how an epic life should be. Like, not scrambling around trying to find clients and stressing out all the time and not having money, not knowing what's coming in. And this is the difference. This is the difference between the girls in the MBSC and a lot of other people that just can't invest, they don't want to invest, they're too scared to invest in themselves, they're scared to follow a process, they just want to fall into their own ego and just think, no, I can do this on my own, it's all going to be fine. Yeah, like, I believe in all of you, like, you can all do it on your own. I didn't do it on my own, and it would have taken me a lot longer to get where I was if I had tried to do it on my own. But I surrendered. I realised, you know what, I want success at this, I'm ready to go for it, I believe in myself enough to do this, and I went for it. And the greatest thing about the MBSC, as opposed to some of the things that I've signed up for, which were literally thousands of pounds, is you only need, like, the investment, to get your investment back, to make it worthwhile you joining, you need one new regular client. One. One new regular client who comes back every 2.5 weeks for a year. Like, it's a complete no-brainer, because we get people, I mean, I have so many screenshots of people, and there's like, 10 new clients in the first 2 weeks, 10 new clients in the first month. Lauren Bailey, who we're interviewing in a couple of weeks, 30 new clients in the last 3 months that she's been in the MBSC. That's 30 times her investment. And that's only if she ever carried on going for 1 year. And she's not going to, right? She's going to probably go on for numerous years, and this is going to lead into more things, because it's so amazing, like, to see people once they hit these 5K months, and then they're like, right, what's next? Because we've done it, we've achieved our goal. We're like, right, what's next? We're gonna go for 10K now. And then our businesses start to evolve even more. So this isn't about, I just wanna get a couple of clients and everything's all right. If you're this person that's ambitious and that wants something more for their life, and like, if you relate to the way that I've been this week, then the MBSC is for you. Like, come and join us. If you have any questions at all, come and send me a PM, come and email us at hello@nailtechtribe.com, and I'm here to help, here to support you. We're not going to force you into it. We have enough members. We have nearly 200 members in there, but I'd love for you to be in there as well. Let me just quickly go through what we include when you join, and the price and everything. And then if anyone's got any questions, please let me know in the comments about the training or about the Nail Business Success Club, pop them in. So the price of joining is $549, or you can break that down and pay that over 6 monthly payments of £97. That gives you instant access to the complete Client Magnetisation Method. That's over 100, I think it's like 105 trainings or something in there that you can watch at your own time, whenever it suits you. You get lifetime access to all of that. So as soon as you pay, you get lifetime access to all of that. Then on top of that, you get all of the support. So all of the support being, so we have a Facebook group, which honestly is the best Facebook group on the planet. Like, I absolutely love those girls. But more importantly, it's about what goes on in there. So everyone shares their tips. If they've had a great win and they've posted something great, they'll share that in there. Everyone lets each other use things, take inspiration from them. And so we're real like family in there. We really celebrate everything, and if someone's having a bad day, we're also there to help. We're there to support you, to comfort you, but also to push you forward, so that you're not, this is the thing for most people, is when they fall into a negative thing, something bad happens in their business, it can take them weeks to get over it, months to get over it in some cases. Like, if you've been trolled or something like that, that happens to girls in the MBSC. They come and post about it. We get through the problem, we sort it out so that they can move on quickly. That's how you get success quicker, because you're just not spending so much time faffing around and worrying about all the things that you don't really need to worry about. Also, you get the Success Session Zoom calls, which we do every week. Our next one is tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So if you do join today, you can be on that with us tomorrow. So with the Success Session Zoom call, which we do every week, we do like one daytime one and one evening one alternate weeks, so that, you know, for people that are working in the day or whatever, or prefer a daytime one, they can come, or if you're in on a different time zone to us. And then we have something called Tuesday questions thread as well, where you can pop any questions. So if you need feedback on something, so it's not working, you want to show us your cover photo that you've made for your Facebook page, or your branding, you want some feedback on anything, you can pop that onto Tuesday question thread. And either myself or one of the success coaches, who are Kayla Middleton, who's been in the MBSC for over a year. She had incredible success, was able to give up her day job, so she is like our MBSC expert. And then we also have Helen Burton Ward, who's an award-winning educator, and she's in there as well. So one of us is in there every day helping to answer questions. But then we also have these other things. So we have the success session call, which is always with me, and then the Tuesday questions thread, which me or one of the other coaches will answer as well. And then you have the support of everyone else as well, which is also incredible. We also have a nail skills training once a month. So for those of you that want a little bit of extra help with like nail skills, like in terms of like lifting, consultations, trying to think the other things that might happen. We have Helen inside there for that, and she is absolutely incredible. Like, she is an amazing nail tech, and she is she's award winning, so she has a lot to give us. So I absolutely love having that in there. And then lastly, the bonuses. So if you do sign, so basically if you sign up before next Friday, the price is $549. After next Friday, the price is going up by £100. So if you're wanting to get in, really try and join before next Friday, so you get in at the lower price. As a special this week, for those of you that have been watching the challenge with me live, that have kept up with it, if you join before the end of tonight, as well as all £400 worth of bonuses, which you'll get anyway as long as you join before the end of next week. If you join before tonight, so tonight being Thursday the 23rd of September at midnight, you will also get a free one-to-one with me. This is a 40-minute one-to-one. It's a coaching session, private, just us. We're on Zoom together, and we'll talk through. You can have that at any point during your 6 months. So some people use it at the start for that kind of like kickstart, and then some people use it further down the line once they've done a few of the trainings, implemented things. If you have a block in your business, like honestly, we have some great conversations over there and really unblock people, and this is where people are really able to transform like their businesses as well. Like they really do get a lot from them. You are able to purchase them on top inside the MBSC if you do want extra one-to-one support. We also have the mentorship option. Pat, have you popped the can you just pop the link up for the MBSC if it's not up already? And then if anyone does want to join, they can basically just click on the link, and basically there's 3 options available for you. So there's the pay monthly option, pay upfront option, which means you get a bit of a saving, or there also is a mentorship option as well, which is where you get 6 one-to-ones with me on top of everything else. So if you prefer that more one-to-one support, then there is that option available for you as well. Okay, and on that page as well, all the bonuses are listed. I won't go through them all now, but they're all listed on there. So have a good look through that. And like I said, if you do have any questions, just let me know. I'm just gonna have a quick look back through the questions. Tracy said, being on your own, running a business can be so lonely. It's great to have this now. Yeah, it really, honestly, it is. And like, I always think like the support to me was when I was joining like coaching things, and that was always like the smallest part of it. But actually, it really is the opposite. And actually, even though the trainings are, you know, so in depth and give you so much, it's getting the mindset and the support that actually is what's going to drive you. And so that's why having both of them together is really key to the success, and why we do it like that, as opposed to just giving you a course for like £200 with no support on it, because I know that you're not, I want people to get results, and I know that this is the best way for you to get results. I don't want people just wasting their money. Okay, if you have any questions, please hit me up. I really hope that everyone's thoroughly enjoyed the challenge this week. Whether you join us in the Nail Business Success Club or not, like, it really doesn't matter. Like, you can still have that success, but if you're wanting to speed it up, like, you know, that's what it's there for, basically, and to support you through that. And I just want you to know, like, that you can all do this. Like, you know, you'll all get to where you want to be, like, and you can all achieve anything that you want to achieve. And so I just want to say massive well done to all of you that have stayed watching this for the last 4 days. Whether you've been watching on replays or watched it all live with me, like, it's just been amazing to see the progress from everyone and to see the results that people are getting and the confidence that's building up. Please come and share this with any nail tech friends that you know. The challenge videos are going to be available until next Friday to watch. So if anyone does want to come and watch them, then they will be taken down, but come and watch them. If you haven't signed up for the challenge, you can sign up. In fact, just pop a little comment in and we'll send you the link, so that you get the workbook and so that you get all the bonuses and everything that we've been sending alongside it. And lastly, if you want to come and like give me some feedback, please send me an email, send me a personal message, let me know how you're feeling, what your biggest aha moments were, biggest takeaways were. If you want to write us a review on our Nail Tech Tribe Facebook page, that would also be super helpful. There you go, tons of things for you to take some action on. But the most important, like, just go and check out even if you're not sure if the MBSE is for you right now, go and check out the page with the link, to see if you feel like it is for you. And if you do have any questions, concerns at all, just hit me up, because I know how much of a difference it can make to you. But yeah, I've had an amazing week with you all. Good luck with everything in implementing everything into your businesses, and I will see you all soon. See you later. Bye.